ready for semifinal action between Pete Sampras and Thomas Johansson. A couple of big hitters, Leaf, and this certainly should turn out to be a very competitive match.
Well, you know, this court is playing pretty quick, and as much as Pete Sampras is effective on this surface, he actually likes a slower court. But Johansson, also a bit of a power player. He's had a very good grass court season where he won 11 straight matches, including 2 events over in England. So this is a guy who can play on the fast stuff. So a good challenge for Pete Sampras, particularly on the eve of the U.S. Open. And I think if Sampras can take him out, he's got a shot to win this one. And Johansson, nearly 6 feet tall, one of the best movers in the game. I mean, this guy is all about working his feet and getting in position. Really a very tough Swede. You can see he has compiled a very impressive record this year. Ranked number 14 in the world. And an offshoot of that, making some good money.
Absolutely. As you hear the PA announcer introducing the all-time great Pete Sampras, a huge hand for Sampras.
Well, Johansson's had a pretty good run. His toughest match, obviously, in the quarterfinals against his fellow countryman, Thomas Enquist. Took out Michael Tabarro, a Czech, pretty easily, and Dupois, the Frenchman. So he has played well. And here is the man. Arguably the greatest player ever. 6'1", 175, 30 years old, out of Los Angeles, California. Lives there now. Again, a pretty average record for this season for a guy of his stature, and you can see his current ranking down at 22, so he's not in the right neighborhood, is he?
That's the most amazing stat when you look at that 22 ranking, Leaf. A huge crowd and a big hand for Pete Sampras. They love him here. It has been 12 years since Sampras appeared here. He came here as a 19-year-old before he won the U.S. Open. As we look at his road to the semis, a tough win there over Oliver Rokas. Tie break in the third. I know the tournament organizers breathing a little easier after that one was over. Yeah. And then he breezed, Leaf.
Yeah, Alexander Peya, the Austrian, and Felix Mantilla, a Spaniard who actually qualified here. And certainly played well, but just was not able to get a hold of Pete Sampras' power game.
And Sampras had some things to say about his opponent tonight, Thomas Johansson, and some tactics that he might give a try.
He loves pace. I mean, he loves just cracking the ball, and it's important against these guys to mix it up a little bit and you know, throw an occasional slice or, you know, hit a couple heavy topspin shots to throw him off, but a very difficult match.
We are ready to go. First game, first set. This is best of 3. The winner moves into the championship match tomorrow against Tommy Haas. Johansson gets his racket on the serve, guides it back.
That's a pretty good way to start off the match, taking Pete Sampras' first serve and nailing it for a winner. That two-hander is going to give him a little extra support on that heavy pace ball.
Yes. The sun starting to get low in the sky now. Very nice action on the center court. I think in another maybe half hour or so, these lights, which are already on, will be starting to take some effect. Beautiful center court here at the Hamlet. Same identical surface to the U.S. Open. Center court seating just a little over 3,600. It is sold out for tonight's match. He hasn't played here in all those years, but that year he went on to win the U.S. Open. Sampras did.
Well, they lost to Goran Ivanisevic in the quarterfinals, and Goran ended up going through to the finals before losing to Stefan Edberg.
Ooh, called out. Ball hits the top of the net. Sampras has to react quickly.
Well, this volley, I think because it popped up so quickly, Sampras felt he had to do a lot with it. And he ended up hitting it in the alley.
Ooh. And that is a solid volley from Sampras off a very good return.
Well, that is how he's made his living. Setting up this chain of events, first with the big serve, and then again, watch this little swinging volley, almost a McEnroe topspin volley.
Yeah.
didn't have time to open up the racket face.
No, again, Sampras thought he had the line that time. A long look at that side linesman. It's about all you'll see Sampras ever do.
Back in that 1990 Hamlet, where Pete was a quarterfinalist, John McEnroe reached the semifinals.
Sampras ducks out of the way. It goes long.
And that says a lot about the length and duration of Pete Sampras' career, that he was, rubbing up against great guys like McEnroe and Edberg. And here is Sampras dominating so strongly.
Sampras finally puts that game away, but not an easy one.
Well, the only time these two guys met was a couple years back at the Paris Indoors, a very fast indoor court. In fact, in that match, Johansson served for the first set. But Sampras turned it around, won it 9-7 in that first set tiebreaker, and then really rolled in the second. Boy, and what a stretch volley that was.
He had to work pretty hard in that first game to hold serve. Sampras having a look at that mark as he comes over. That's the ball on that sideline. He thought he had the backhand volley for a winner. 1-love Sampras, first set. T.Johansson serving now, second game. There is Cedric Maurier, the chair umpire, who virtually reincarnated Johansson last night. Johansson down match point. Somehow got a call there on the sideline that Enquist thought ended the match in his favor. And here we have Johansson. Just wide off the backhand. Sampras going for the winner.
Well, I think Sampras has to play aggressively. And as long as he's making up his mind, moving into the shots, and is decisive about what he wants to do, sometimes that backhand down the line can give him some trouble.
Johansson snapping that serve now, 127 miles per hour, but it was a fault. Pete way in on that return of serve. Looks like he's going to try some second serve shots and come in behind him, Lee.
Well, Paul Annacone was serving second to him, and you can see him stepping in. He's trying to get a read on these second shots. He's trying to be aggressive on the ball.
Well, his coach, Paul Annacone, he did that all the time. Second serve return, brought the baseline with him. No call. And Johansson holds at love. It is one game all.
Good start for the Swede. And very solid on his service games. And again, a guy who uses his legs real well, even on the serve. I mean, that's where he gets the majority or the lion's share of his explosion up into that ball, because he's not a particularly strong guy. He doesn't have the shoulders that Pete has. But he is quick, Johansson. He can get around that court.
And there is a huge second serve. How many times have we seen Sampras in trouble? Pulls second serve ace. And there it is.
Doesn't really have a second serve, Barry. It's just two first serves.
Oh, yes. 119 miles per hour, ace number 2. See if he can dish up 4 in a row here. That'd be kind of fun.
That was only 119, though. I mean, so he's really just getting loose.
Yes. Ace number 3. All right, Pete, go for it.
There's Bridget Wilson, Pete Sampras' new wife. Next to her, Nate Ferguson, his stringer.
Well, he misses it. Second serve.
I tell you, Nate is busy every day. I mean, he restrings all of Pete's rackets, whether he uses them or not, each morning.
Ooh, that's a big forehand. Oh, that's long. Do you think Pete brings Nate out to Brentwood when he has a week off and says, I just want to make sure those rackets are restrung every day?
Yeah, I would bet not. I mean, Nate can string up a racket pretty quickly.
And Sampras just eases that ball cross court. We are at the Hamlet semifinal action. Pete Sampras up 2-1 first set. 2-1 now. Sampras up in the first set here. We are on serve. Beautiful night for tennis. Absolutely no clouds in the sky, and lights are already on. Oh, there's a nice looking slice approach. Ball stayed low.
Well, that's what you're hoping for in that chip and charge. You know, you're hoping for the guy to make an error, or you're looking to get a swing at a volley. But this is a pretty good approach. Deep, you can see Johansson is pushed back behind the baseline. That's what it's all about. Making your opponent come up with something good and hoping he doesn't.
Oh, yes. Johansson just drills that two-hander into the open court. That's the chance you take when you run around that forehand. Leave a lot of court open.
Yeah, you're right. And you can see Sampras does that. This is a pretty good return, but Johansson just stands in. Puts it right down the line. Do I hear the bugle roar? I mean, he's coming in. Cavalry charge right here.
Good angle. And a better little half volley from Sampras. Great touch on that shot.
A half volley drop shot winner. One of the toughest shots in tennis. You have to play the ball on the bounce, plus soften your racket. You have to be very adept with your hands. He's got that shot down.
Oh, that was beautiful timing. Second serve, Johansson. Now Sampras with an early opportunity as Paul Annacone looks on with one of his offspring. No call, right on the sideline. Sampras staying out with Paul Annacone, who lives in East Hampton. They just kind of tool down the LIE to the site every day. Wow. That's good with plenty of room to spare. Nice safe shot from the two-hander. You can see the sun just hitting those luxury suites over there. It'll be gone in another 15 or 20 minutes. Do you like playing at dusk, Leaf?
I didn't mind this time.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't like playing in the mornings. Anytime after 5 is great.
And Johansson drills the forehand. We are at 2 all.
There's Bridget Wilson, former Miss Teen USA. Saw her in The Wedding Planner. Adventure film called The Extremists. I'm not sure when that one's coming out, but not sure how much work she is doing these days with her acting. Seems like she's traveling more to the tennis stops than being on the movie sets. In fact, Pete Sampras first saw her in one of her movies called Love Stinks and asked friends to introduce them. And after the introduction, things really blossomed from there. I haven't seen Love Stinks. Have you, Barry?
Missed that one. Oh, yeah. And there is the Sampras leap for the overhead. Easy put away.
Well, the half volley before it was the shot. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's magic right there.
Solid return from Johansson, but Sampras still up now, 40-15. Will go short, and so Sampras holds. We're at the Hamlet, where Pete Sampras leads 3-2 over Thomas Johansson from Sweden. Johansson now serving down 2-3 from the far court. An ace down the center, his first of the match.
That's 129-mile-an-hour serve. Oh. I mean, that's as big as it comes on the men's.
This guy,
I mean, that's a rocket.
Very flat first serve. You can hear it. This. It's wide.
I mean, Johansson turned pro in '94, and he's been on the tour 7 years now. And I mean, he's just stepping into some serious level of play. I mean, it's a guy who's been high as 16 in the world. He's won 2 tournaments this year, and you got to reckon with this guy in any event.
Well, you can see why on a grass court, Leaf, which he was so successful on before Wimbledon, with that big serve.
Yeah, and there are those back-to-back titles on grass, and he had 11 matches in a row before Andy Roddick beat him at Wimbledon. So that was a good win for Roddick, and of course Roddick fell to Ivan Isavic.
Turns out that wasn't a bad loss.
Yeah.
Sampras tries to slide that backhand up the line. The side spin on that ball took it wide.
He's a little bit off his back foot there. And if you can lean on the down the line shot, that weight transfer gives you a little more line on the ball. You can see he's a little bit open here. You know, he's not really got that shoulder turn.
And ace number 2 for Johansson. All right. 3 games all, first set. Johansson hanging right in with Sampras thus far. Ace number 4. Such a tough serve to pick, isn't it, Leaf? It looks like he's going out wide on that ball just then, and all of a sudden right down the center.
Well, I played Pete Sampras back in '88 when he was 18 years old, and he hadn't quite developed the serve as completely as it is now, but he just had such explosive power. And that's a good reason why he's got so much money. Fortunately, my career earnings don't look like that.
I was just going to ask you about your career earnings when I looked at that $41 million.
Yeah. You know, funny enough, my power serve hasn't really developed yet either.
I got my fingers crossed, Lee.
It could still happen. I'm still waiting for it.
40 love now. Sampras trying to hold easily here in the 7th game. Deep serve will go wide, and Sampras does hold it love. We are at 4-3. Sampras leading. We're at the Hamlet on Long Island. Thomas Johansson serving now in the 8th game of the first set. Sampras with the deep return, love 15. Both players holding serve thus far leave very easily, but Sampras winning that first point now might give him a bit of a lift. Johansson right back. Service ace out wide. His 3rd of the match. You know what? He put a lot of spin on that ball, and it was still 119 miles per hour.
Yeah, that really took off, didn't it, when it hit the court? Sidewinder.
baseline. 40-15. Good. Into the net. 4 games all. First set. Well, we caught up with Pete last night. Asked him about his preparation for the Open. And what about this week of tennis?
It's been a perfect week, regardless of what happens this week. And I feel like my game is there. I've steadily have gotten better and better as the week has gone on. So I feel like it was important to play some matches. I haven't been here in 12 years. Since 1990, I ended up winning the Open that year. So hopefully it's a good omen.
Hard to believe that was back in 1990. Sampras, who came here 12 years ago and hasn't appeared since, but I know they were delighted when he took the wild card this year. Oh, yes, so beautiful little drop shot. And you could see Johansson, he tried to take off, but slipped just for a moment.
That was a good play from Sampras here. Play with a little variety. He hasn't played anything short, so this is a good play just to keep Johansson off balance.
Sampras with ace number 5.
That's discouraging. You know, where you step up into the try and get a return, you don't touch it. It's not a good feeling.
Sampras just unwinds on the overhand, holds easily at love. And so Sampras now 5-4 when we return. Johansson serves to stay in the first set. Moon over Comac, Long Island, New York on a beautiful Saturday night on the eve of the U.S. Open as the Swede Thomas Johansson gets ready to try and hold and hang in this first set. I'll tell you, he has been holding serve pretty well. Not quite as spectacular as Sampras, but very solid. And there's a great approach. 15-love.
Yeah, you feel like these two guys are squared off, and it's, you know, who's going to blink first.
Sampras' favorite shot underneath the running forehand cross court with a lot of depth.
When he's in trouble, I mean, he can turn what's a defensive situation into some instant offense. And here's that setup for the backhand. That's better preparation. So he had the shoulder turn there.
15 all, 4-5. Sampras 3 points away, but a long way away at the moment. Second serve. He kind of surprised that ball. Looked like it cleared the net pretty well, but the automatic net caller, the electronic device right on top, catching it.
Well, you can see that is the one weakness that Johansson has. That second serve falls pretty short in the box. And when Sampras gets those chances, he's got to capitalize more efficiently. He's got to make that approach.
Pete showing a lot of respect on the first serve, though. Well back behind the baseline. Now he'll move in. Oh, yes. A sweeping inside-out forehand winner.
You know, you don't hit this ball. You know, you just get that angle. You hit it hard, but you don't have to make it a screamer because you have the angle. And that time he played it right around the service length depth there. Service line depth there. Sometimes it doesn't come out right.
I'll accept that.
Nice little angle.
Second serve. It's here. 4-5. Sampras trying to break. That is an excellent approach shot. Got it deep. underspin, and now Sampras at set point. It's about as well as he can hit that approach right there. Patrick Rafter, one of the great approach shot players in the game, loves that shot.
Tim Henman too.
Now big opportunity, second serve. No, just long. The umpire jumped on that call. Cedric Mourier, who made the call last night, actually the call being to let that bad call against Memphis stand. He's had some tough moments this week. It's deuce. It is. Scored. No. And a bad break for Sampras as the net court kind of backed him up.
It looked like Sampras was in control at that point before the net court turned it around. So Johansson is really battling here. Now he has to step up. See how he steps up right on the baseline.
That is great racket work from Johansson, moving that grip around. Good preparation, and now Johansson at game point.
Well, he hasn't gotten many first serves in this game. That's why he struggled.
That will carry long, and so Thomas Johansson gets out of trouble. Down set point. He holds serve. We are at 5 games all. What goes through Sampras's mind, Lee? He has a set point, lets it slip away. How does he kind of say, hey, listen, let's get back to business here, huh?
Well, I think he's the best at settling back down and focusing on the task at hand, which is to hold your serve.
No call. Johansson has another look. Ace number 6.
As I mentioned before, this is a pretty fast court, and when the ball hits the lines, it's very fast. You see that ball cut through pretty quickly. Barry, I asked Paul Anico, and I said, why does Pete Sampras like a slower hard court? You'd think he'd want a faster court. He says, well, if it's too fast, he feels that his opponent gains an edge on his serve. Well, you know, Pete is going to hold, he feels, on a fast or a slow court.
He just catches the tape.
There's Paul Anico. Anico really feels that Pete Sampras is going to hold his serve on any hard court.
And so Sampras holds. He now 6 games to 5 in the first set. Stay with us. We're at the Hamlet Cup, where Thomas Johansson crosses over to serve when we return. Thomas Johansson from Sweden now trying to stay in this first set with the 7-time Wimbledon champion, and Sampras looking sharp on those returns. A deep one, love 15.
Yeah, Sampras has been close. The last service game he had a break point, which was a set point, but he could not get it.
Catches the tape, and now Sampras with a big opportunity here. 12th game of the first set, love 30. I think he takes a chance on the second serve if he gets a shot at the return, Pete. Leaf? Your name is Leaf, isn't it?
Yeah. I know you mistake me for Sampras because of my game, right?
Ooh. No call. Oh, what a break for Sampras. That ball just hit the sideline.
Well, Johansson has the point in command, but watch, he plays it right into the same corner where Pete is.
Ooh.
Look at Pete find a very tough angle right on the line.
Triple set point for Sampras. It's long. A 40. Yes, and Sampras the chance on the second serve return. Slices it down the middle. And Sampras has won the first set out here at the Hamlet. A very solid return from the Wimbledon champion. 7-5. First set for Sampras. A great turnout here at the Hamlet on a Saturday night on the eve of the U.S. Open. Perfect conditions for tennis. Very little wind. It was windy earlier in the day in our other semifinal, which Tommy Haas won. But right now, just about ideal as Sampras comes over to serve in the first game of the second set. He must have felt good winning that last game at Lovely, and knowing that he can start this second set on his own serve.
I mean, you just watch his service games, and he looks like he's in such a good rhythm on his serve. And that's a signal that he is confident and feeling good about his game.
No call. Is number 7.
Here's Magnus Tiedemann, Thomas Johansson's coach, and Magnus Tiedemann played the tour when I was playing. Knowledgeable guy about the game. I said to him, "What's the key tonight, Magnus?" He says, "You got to figure out a way to get to the Sampras serve."
Wow. Was the young lady on his left on the tour when you played?
I didn't see her.
Wow. You were concentrating too hard, I know.
Trying to figure out a way to beat Tiedemann, which was not easy. The Swedes were all very talented.
There is a great return from Johansson. Pete happy that was called a fault. 30-15, first game. No. Johansson's starting to spray that forehand now, but under pressure on every point from Sampras. That's going to go wide.
Oh, I think that face says it all. I mean, he should have made that volley, but you know, sometimes when the ball's very low over the net, you tend to get up on the ball. You want to stay down with it. But because Johansson hit it so cleanly, Sampras couldn't handle it.
Oh, that would go out. And Johansson with a couple of returns.
Yeah, that was a heck of a return. I mean, when you're playing against a power server, you got to shorten up your swings. Try and get the ball down at Sampras's feet. It's only the second time Johansson's been to deuce on the Sampras serve.
Oh, another error from the volley, and now Sampras with 3 missed volleys in a row finds himself down break point.
Again, he's inside the baseline, short swing, yet very firm in the grips. Boy, and what a chance now. He hasn't seen one of these in a long time, like since '98.
It's wide. Look out. That will go. And Thomas Johansson from 15-40 down, comes roaring back to break serve in the first game of the second set.
You know, I said what a good mover Johansson is. A pretty good ball. Forces Sampras to play something short. Look at how quickly he's on this. He gets the ball when it's high. So he's able to do something with it. Boy, and Sampras just with a little bit of a let up.
Let's have a look now at our first set statistics.
If Pete Sampras can continue to serve like this, he's in good shape. Again, he's spending a lot of time at the net. And again, very solid up there. Johansson didn't play badly, but I think his serve just wasn't as effective as it could be. You know, Sampras saw a lot of seconds, got in on him.
And a deep second serve. Sampras waiting for the call. It's not going to come.
Another example there, that little vibration dampener popped out of his strings when he hit that return.
Just over the baseline. And that looked good for a second. Johansson has another look. Thought he had that shot.
Again, Sampras trying to keep the ball deep. That one lands a little bit short. Johansson has a little bit of room there. Clearly out, Barry.
Yeah. Ooh, and a miss hit. Worst shot Sampras has hit this entire match right there. Dumps it into the bottom of the net. Again, that second serve from Johansson lead really dropping short, giving Sampras a big opportunity to come in behind it.
So Sampras a little bit sloppy here. Particularly that last service game when he lost his serve.
Good. Just inside the baseline. Johansson thought it was long. Wow. Cedric Maurier again on the spot up there in the chair. He will not overrule. Well, Johansson got a beautiful call last night on match point against him. This could have been Thomas out here playing tonight because he virtually lost match point, but somehow got the call. Now a chance for Sampras. Second serve. Break point. He's in. Oh, and that's a great drop volley. And a sensational drop volley from Sampras. Great touch on that ball. And Sampras has broken right back. One game all, second set.
Well, this was a real chance for Johansson to build on the service break, but Sampras really raised his level right there. I mean, we've had 3 consecutive breaks to serve when really through the first 11 games no one had been close.
And you know what? Even if Johansson makes that shot, Sampras was right on top of that volley.
Neighborhood to live in.
Well, he's got some work cut out for him to maintain that this year, being at number 22 in the world right now.
Yeah, and you know, if he can do well here and then do well at the Open, he might be able to get back there. And this time the return comes to the forehand side.
Wide open court. Sampras just waits for Johansson to commit.
It's another serve and volley point. This time Sampras decides to take it on the bounce. Well, this is the way you consolidate a break. You know, you get a lot of first serves in, and this is something he did not do in the opening game of this set.
Service ace out wide. Ace number 8 for Pete Sampras. We're at the Hamlet. The 7-time Wimbledon champion loosening up. Up 2-1 in the second set. Beautiful sunset out here. Mid Long Island. We're in Comac, Long Island, New York at the Hamlet Cup on the eve of the U.S. Open as Thomas Johansson serves now. Second set, Sampras has the first. We have had 3 breaks in a row. Johansson losing his last 2 serves. And down love 15 this time. Ball just grazes the frame of Johansson, and now Sampras with another big opportunity.
That's a good feeling when you're hitting the passing shot. It's probably the worst feeling you can have as a volleyer, you know, because you feel like you can make a play on this ball. You're there, and the net just takes it away from you.
He'll get it. No, it goes wide. Sampras could have nudged that ball up the line, but he decided to go cross court.
Well, he really could have done a number of things with it.
Yeah. We're at the Hamlet Cup semifinal action on the eve of the U.S. Open. I'm Barry McKay along with Lee Shiras, bringing you semifinals in the near court. Thomas Johansson against Pete Sampras. Sampras with the first set 7-5, leading 2-1 in the second, and 15-30 in the fourth game, second set. Oh, yes. That graceful lunge on that high backhand volley.
Now, this is pretty special here. This is not an easy shot. Up high. Little 360 move from Pistol.
Little ballet going on. Great stuff from Sampras. Double break point. Now a second serve opportunity. He has come in behind several big points. Wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. Oh, yes. Johansson. A little change up. Looked like he was going up the line. Goes cross court.
Yeah, a little chip in charge. Nice play from Johansson.
Pete slipped on that center service line. Leafy hit his foot, hit the center service line. You saw him just slip slightly. Still break point. He's in. And again, that jammed backhand goes wide. We've seen him miss that about 4 times already in this match.
Yeah, he's made too many errors off that backhand volley, which is normally his very dependable side. You know, I think his forehand volley he might make a few more mistakes on, but that backhand is usually rock solid. But not tonight. He's had some problems with it.
He's more comfortable going cross court on that backhand volley.
I think most players are.
Yep.
You know, him hitting that inside-out volley, it's hard to generate pace, so you tend to try and do too much with it.
And there is some great control off the backhand from Sampras.
Well, the greatest players seem to come up with their best tennis when they're in trouble. Look at Sampras. He's really pressed here.
Ooh,
look at the angle he finds.
That is a great shot. Some terrific camera work from our crew on that replay. Second serve. We'll see if Sampras comes in again, Lee. He does. And it's just inside the baseline. Great control from Johansson under pressure.
Now we're getting into some interesting tennis here. I mean, this is Sampras applying some pretty good pressure. Low backhand volley, cross step. Boy, that's textbook stuff, but this is too good. That next lob over his head.
Ooh, kind of lunges at that ball.
I'll tell you, I think his eyes got big. All of a sudden he had a short ball and he was ready to hit his best shot, that backhand cross court. He just got ahead of himself a little bit.
High lob. Short. And the angle put away. Those were some big league shots from both players.
I mean, I don't know. That's serious tennis right there. I mean, that was a pretty amazing point he just played. Just knocked off the backhand, forehand, overhead. Boy, he looks confident. That's the understatement of the night so far, Barry.
The sideline, very close.
Well, there wasn't a lot of room in that forehand corner. Sampras was in a pretty good position. You know, watch, this is a fairly low ball. I mean, it's tough to generate pace from down there, but notice how he whips the racket. Great racket head speed by Johansson.
Sampras gets jammed, and so Johansson holds. We're at 2-2 second set.
2-2.
This year and for the next 6 seasons, Fox Sports will be the exclusive network carrier of baseball's postseason. 8 of baseball's best battle it out in the Division Series, the ALCS, the NLCS, and finally the World Series. Fox Sports, your exclusive network carrier of baseball's postseason, coming this fall. That should be interesting. Easy put away for Sampras. Well, that parking lot's going to be jammed at the U.S. Open next week as the Giants and Mets continue a 4-game series into Monday, which is opening day for the U.S. Open. Gets caught. That's a big second serve. 114 miles per hour right down the center. How often that second serve has gotten Sampras out of trouble.
Well, that's tough to beat. Pete Sampras, when he's getting in 70% of his first serves, I mean, he is very tough to get it by.
40.
Second serve, Sampras. Game point. Out wide with another big second. And Sampras leads 3-2. Second set. Pete Sampras up a set 5 and up 3-2 in the second set. But on serve now is T.Johansson, who had a miracle win over Thomas Enquist in the quarterfinals. Somehow survived. Got a very favorable call on match point against him. Serves now in the 6th game of the second set.
That was a phantom call, wasn't it? I mean, that
really was.
That call against Enquist, geez. Pretty meaty.
Yeah, showing some speed at 124.
Pretty good record. I mean, that says that he's comfortable playing the best guys. And I think that's when he is at his best, when he doesn't have any restraints, not as much pressure, he can just go for it.
Well, big wins over Guga Kierton and Marat Safin, the reigning U.S. Open champion, by Johansson. That's long.
Well, Sampras is really executing his game plan well. You know, he's changing up the pace, throwing in a lot of spin. He's not giving it pace. You know, he's hitting it when he needs to, yes, but throwing a little bit of variety.
Sampras looking very patient right now, don't you think, Lee? As opposed to when this match started, he's much more comfortable. Now with a chance here, 15-30, 6th game. That's long. Another error from the backhand side, and now Pete Sampras at double break point.
I mean, you have to look at these almost as match points, the way that Sampras has been serving. And Johansson has got to recover here.
Well, it's long again. Another second serve opportunity.
He can't buy a first serve.
Exactly. Oh, and Sampras gets the break. Just catches the top of the net. Well, Pete Sampras certainly one of the best second servers in the history of the game. Here's what he had to say about that shot.
You know, I feel like it's one of the best in the game. It's like Tiger Woods hitting a 3-wood. Why he should be hitting a driver. I mean, it's my strength, and I get burned by it, and I miss a few. But you know, once it's intimidating to play guys with big second serves. I'll tell you, playing a Krajicek or Ivanovic, the guys that have that big second serve, you feel like you have no chance. And I go for it. You know, I go for the line. I put a little spin on it and hope we make it. But I feel like I've got it. I mean, I've got it in the arsenal. Might as well crack it.
And now Sampras up 15-love. Another second serve to put him at this point. I really think, as Jack Creamer once said, show me a great champion and I'll show you a good second server. And that's what Sampras has done through his career. When he needs it, the second serve. Now Sampras on a roll, 30 love, up a break and up a set.
Pretty relaxed looking,
Yeah,
Pete Sampras.
A little bit of a smile there. Second serve gets him in a little trouble.
Well, there's that occasional hiccup, you know, but it's like Ivan Lendl missing his forehand. He's not afraid to reload it just because he gets a double fault, and oftentimes great players treat mistakes in the right way. Oftentimes a lesser player, he makes a mistake and it rattles him, but the best players don't let mistakes bother them. They learn from them.
And I think Sampras through the years has played the score so well. Leave 30 love, he goes for a big second serve. 40 love, but he'll let that one go. And Sampras holds. He leads 5-2, second set with a break and the first set. Pete Sampras, the #3 seed here at the Hamlet Cup, now on a roll, up a set and up 5-2 against Thomas Johansson. Johansson serving to stay in the match. Second serve. But everything going Pete's way now. He gets the let cord on the approach shot. Love 15. No, Johansson overhitting a short ball. Now Sampras 2 points away, love 30. That's long. That will go wide.
15.
Keep taking a big chance, but a good time for it. 15-30. Still very much in the game at 30 all. Two-hander goes long. And so now Pete Sampras has arrived at match point. Ooh, and a bad miss hit. Ball kind of jumped off the court right into the frame of Sampras's racket. It's deuce. Ace number 5.
Now this would be a good recovery for Johansson. He is not out of this match yet. Remember, he has broken Sampras today. So if he can hold here, he'd have another swing at it.
Yes.
wide.
Magnus Tiedemann certainly realizing that Johansson is up against it here. But Johansson is not a quitter. I mean, he's going to hang tough in battle.
Catches the tape. Sampras going for it all. And Johansson fights off a match point. Now Sampras to serve for the match at 5-3.
See Johansson still moving well back there. Here's the angle.
Sampras with ace number 9. He has only lost 5 points on 38 first serves played so far in this match. Quite a record. 3 points away now. 15 love. He'll let that one go. Well over the baseline. 30 love.
And that may be the toughest serve to get back of Sampras is when he gets it in on the body. I mean, you're spending most of your time getting out of, much less trying to make a play on it.
No. So a double fault for Pete as he goes for a big second serve. A few whistles from this crowd. That was clearly long. Just caught the frame of the Johansson racket, and so once again Sampras at double match point. No call. Sampras down the center, and there it is. As Paul Annacone and Pete's wife, a standing ovation for the 7-time Wimbledon champion who put on a fine show out here tonight. We love you, Pete, and they do indeed. Hasn't been here for 12 years. And a big ovation for the former #1 in the world. He will take on Tommy Haas. We'll have it for you tomorrow. Check your local listings. And so Sampras moves into the finals here at the Hamlet Cup on the eve of the U.S. Open, looking very sharp. A solid win over Thomas Johansson, who defeated Enqvist last night. We're at the Hamlet Cup, Comac, Long Island, New York, where the 7-time Wimbledon champion Pete Sampras rolled in straight sets. Once again, the final score here from the Hamlet Cup. Sampras a straight set winner, 7-5 and 6-3 over Thomas Johansson. Pete moves into the final to take on Tommy Haas.
Legg Mason presents the play of the match.